So we are continuing with this chapter.
Good evening, Atmabandhan Chandra Guru, Ramkrishna Guru, all the masters.
Namaskar.
Nice to see you a long time. Thank you.
Long time. Yeah. Bala ma'am,
Yeah,
shall we start?
sure. How many of us? Yeah, 10 of us. Yeah,
We are good to go.
sure. Okay, so here, clairvoyance.
Yeah.
So this is from the same
Psychic destiny.
book.
Yeah. Our thinking and destiny. Psychic destiny.
Okay, thinking in destiny, psychic destiny, and clairvoyance and psychic power. Clairvoyance, psychic power. Clairvoyance, which is desired by some, it is usually an abnormal development. Such development at present is like gigantism, a disease where one part of the body grows to enormous size while the other parts remain normal. Where one develops clairvoyance only, the sense of sight functions astrally or on the form plane while the other senses do not. So she's saying, so one particular one, it grows bigger in size.
Yeah.
Okay.
One particular faculty within the body.
Yeah. In as much as such a clairvoyant has not the companion senses to balance it, or the psychic power so trained as to work it, or the knowledge to judge concerning his experience, he is deluded and confused. Mm-hmm.
See, basically what we need to remember, right, is like this. We have, if we really look at what we learned in the 12 dimensions.
Yes.
Right?
The light body.
Correct. So we are existing in multiple dimensions.
Yes.
Each dimension has an environment of its own.
Yes.
That means the particles have their own characteristics which is aligned with that particular environment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are here in this physical dimension. Okay.
Yeah.
But so you are subjected to your own environment, correct?
Yes.
When you are able to transcend this environment to see things when you are able to transcend this environment and see things that are happening here, right? That means your consciousness is increasing, right?
Yeah.
So as your consciousness is increasing, you are able to see things, you are able to connect with things, you are able to observe what is there and so on. That ability, that strength is what he is calling the clairvoyance.
But how come he says one part grows larger in size?
Correct. See, the physical body, the mental aspect of it is growing to that extent that you are able to connect there, correct?
It does not mean it's a physical body.
No, see, what is this physical body? It is a bit of this plus the bit of this plus bit of this and so on, right? So one part that is in the physical body is growing beyond while the other components are not growing in line with it.
Yeah, his language is confusing. Now I got it. Because when he talks about like this one part of the body, we think, it's a physical body.
Correct.
Okay, got it. So basically, in one layer of the 7 layers or whatever, it is bigger in astral form.
It is bigger, yes. Oh, answer. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in as much as such a clairvoyant has not the companion senses to balance it, or the psychic power so trained as to work it, or the knowledge to judge concerning his experience, he is deluded and confused. This is the form destiny attendant on premature development of the astral or radiant aspects of the senses, organs, and nerves of the body, so as to see or hear that which is concealed.
Correct.
Okay, got
See
it. Yeah.
now, what is happening is we have 7 bodies. All of them are composed of units at various levels of consciousness.
Yes.
Collectively, all those units are encased in this physical body, which we are not able to comprehend.
Yes.
Right? So, all
Yeah.
these have got their own functions, their own levels of consciousness, which is manifesting as the manifested and the unmanifested, which is experienced and the other side of it. Just like in the other book, that there was a beautiful sentence I was reading. I think it is here or here. Yeah. See, he says the many worlds theory.
Mm.
The many worlds theory suggests that the subtle energy is a product of many worlds. And she explains that we are created out of, as Victor Hugo, he makes a statement, we are made of stardust.
Yes.
Right? So, this theory exists in other incarnations as ideas about parallel worlds, multiverses, and more. Basically, the concept asserts that every choice we don't make creates its own spin-off world.
Mm.
So that means what now I am able to now visualize this with what has manifested, what I have experienced.
Yes.
Plus, what has not manifested yet, what I have not yet experienced. Together is the universe, right?
Correct. But we are limited to only whatever we see. Yeah.
Now, in fact, while reading this, I was looking at my background. That's what I was explaining to Gopi. See, I was looking at this background and I was wondering. See, behind all this, you have Panchabhutas.
Yes.
Right? Panchabhuta is manifesting as the person who is observing it, which is me. It is manifesting as water. It is manifesting as trees. It is manifesting as earth. It is manifesting as the river, the bridge that is connecting. The bridge is not visible because I am covering it, right? And the roadway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You see
Yeah.
this. Now I was wondering,
Yeah.
what the hell? Right? That means I am sitting here, I am seeing this, and I am starting to imagine various things. I am creating those thoughts also. Right? Now, if I am able to visualize this without physically visiting it, without seeing it, here it is under the guidance of my actual senses, right?
Visual perception.
Correct. But then, if it were my powers to visualize this, what would it mean? That becomes
Beyond our
clairvoyance. So it is existing somewhere. I am sitting here and I am able to replicate that. Then it is clairvoyance. Yeah.
Got it. So basically, we need to go beyond our physical body
Correct.
to perceive.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, astral senses are usually used to astonish the credulous and to satisfy the curiosity of the skeptics, or to feed the psychic hunger of the spook seeker, or to gratify those who want to have spiritual husbands or spiritual wives, or to make money. The term astral senses is not accurate. There are no astral senses anymore than there are physical senses. The term is used for brevity to indicate the functioning in any state other than the solid state of the same elementals that work as the four senses in seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and contacting.
Correct.
Astral vision. So basically, he is saying the same senses we use beyond the physical body, even though they say astral senses.
Exactly. See, now I'm able to relate to some of the books which are titled Astral Projection. They use
Yes.
the word astral projection. Now, come from your higher self down to the physical self. Is it projecting itself through multiple layers of all the 12 dimensions, which is what we are seeing here?
Correct.
Yeah. So, astral centers are pertaining to that particular phase or that particular environment. It is only to explain. Yeah.
As vision of a future event, for example, refers to the functioning of the same elemental in radiant matter or on the physical or any other plane, which works as a sense of sight in looking at a ball game in solid matter.
Correct. So, if you are able to perceive all that, as though you perceive it, then you have the clairvoyance.
And a future event, for example. Okay.
Exactly.
So that means, yeah, a ball game, if you imagine, that is, yeah. To see a thing astrally means, in common speech, to see the thing in a state of matter or on a plane other than the solid. That means you are imagining in your mental world rather than
other than the physical world. I would put it that way.
That is why he said the example of having, you are imagining the ball game in your mind.
Correct.
There are on the physical plane 3 other states, and on the form plane 4 states. Beyond these, even the best clairvoyant cannot go. So
you can only go within the limits of the 4 elements that you are subjected to, which is existing in 3 states,
3 physical,
3 planes, and in the
4 from the form plane.
Correct. Which
Form,
is your,
yeah.
See, in the form plane, you have got your states. In the planes, you have got the states, and within the states, the physical state has got form plane, which is in the 4 substates. Yeah.
The sense of sight is a fire elemental of the light world. The sense of hearing on air elemental of the life world. The sense of taste a water elemental of the form world. And the sense of smell an earth elemental of the physical world. So these are the substrates.
These are the substrates, yes.
Yeah. While these elementals are in a body, they function on the physical plane, and they're only in the solid state and not in their own worlds. Correct. Only things in the solid state can be seen, heard, tasted, smelled, and contacted. Correct. The things which they feel, they transmit through the finer physical bodies or masses to the breath form.
Correct.
Yeah. When the sense of sight perceives a thing, it can perceive it in 2 ways, negatively or positively, depending on the attitude of the human. When one is negative.
Ma'am, 1 minute. People have followed this part. Any questions? I think we can continue. When
So it can
sense
be
of sight. Yeah. We can repeat this.
Okay.
We can repeat
This
from.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Things which we perceive, they transmit through the finer physical bodies are masses to the breath form.
Hmm.
When the sense of the sight, finer physical bodies, in the sense mental, psychic, those bodies he's talking about, the
Yeah.
finer physical bodies.
Correct.
Okay. When sense of sight perceives a thing, it can perceive it in two ways, negatively or positively, depending on the attitude of the human. When one is negative, his sense of sight merely perceives the impression which comes in a fourfold stream of
Merely
fine
receives,
matter.
receives the impressions,
There is
not
a filter
perceives.
block here.
Receives.
What is? Can we take this
No,
out? A
no,
filter. Yeah.
I don't have any filter here. Okay. When one is negative, his sense of sight merely receives the impression.
For me, it got blocked with a
Ah,
small
okay,
block.
okay, okay, okay.
When one is negative, his sense of sight merely receives the impressions which comes in a fourfold stream of fine matter emitted by the object seen.
Hmm.
Okay. Negative, so merely he receives the impressions which comes in a fourfold stream of fine matter
Hmm.
from the object seen. When he is positive and bent on making an observation, his sense of sight sends something of its own nature of fire out to meet the stream of matter coming from the object seen. So in the positive case, it acts with the fire elemental.
No. Basically,
So
what he is talking of is when is it positive? When you are able to comprehend what is coming.
yeah.
That means you are associating it with something in real world.
Mm-hmm.
That what you are associating it with is coming from within. So there are two.
Of sight. So he says the own nature of fire out. That means some intelligence light.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just
No, no,
like in
no. Look at it like this, man.
Unified,
Now,
we
what is
send
this?
out light.
No, what is this? This is an elliptical shape.
Yes.
Correct. Now, how are you deciphering that this is elliptical? The first time you saw, it is more negative. You are not able to follow what it is.
And second time we have a imprint.
You have an imprint. So, first one you are receiving the imprint. In the second one, you
Yes.
are sending light to that imprint. That is why I think Jagdish sir always says you have to experience this book. When you yeah.
Yeah. When he is positive and bent on making an observation, his sense of
You
sight
are
sends
making an
something of.
observation. You are making an observation. Remember that. How are you able to observe? It is from within. Yeah,
That means you are focusing on with some light.
correct.
Sense of sight sends something of its own nature of fire out to meet the stream of matter coming from the object seen. The sense of sight usually does this, sending out for a distance of from 3 inches to 3 feet. So, I mean, our perception, so eyes can see from 3 inches to 3 feet.
No, we
The
can
sense of
see much more than that, but we will be able to perceive only that much.
yeah. In both cases, that of the negative and of the positive perception, the sense of sight aligns the particles of matter and transmits its alignment as a point to the breath form as a perception. So it sends a signal at a point.
That means you are giving it a shape. See, the form, the sense of perception is giving it the form. And your breath is giving it the life. That is how you are able to perceive.
There are limits to this functioning of the sense of sight. It can see only things outside the body. It can see only in a curve called a straight line. It can see only matter in the solid state. matter in the radiant, in the airy, and in the fluid states of the physical plane is not visible.
Correct. See, we are able to see water which is in a solid state. But when water changes its shape, when it is being recycled, can you see water in the cloud?
Yeah,
So
correct.
that is what he is referring to.
Yeah. Seeing at a distance is limited by the size of the object and by the nature of the intervening matter.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go down. Things which are too small cannot be seen. Another limitation is that the sense cannot perceive unless there is sufficient light, that is, light of the kind that can be seen by.
Hmm.
So, in the dark, we cannot see. There should be enough light.
Correct.
Nor it see the colors beyond a limited range. It cannot see through opaque matter. It can see only surfaces and not the interior of the things.
Correct.
Yes.
Such
Such are some of the
yeah.
Such are some of its limitations. It is true of all the four senses that the range of their function is very limited. The
Actually,
limitations are
ma'am, 1 minute. Here I would like to make a point.
Mhm.
Can you convert this wisdom that he has given so far into how can we use it to improve our eyesight? Utilizing our meditation.
That means, we are not this body, we are beyond the body perception.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we heighten the ability to increase the light particles in our organs, then, right? Then we will be able to see better.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we need to come up.
Said this book is more to do with anatomy than anything else. Someone was saying this is anatomy. Yeah.
The limitations are not inherent in the senses, but are due to the organs and nerves through which they have to work.
Correct.
See, they are not inherent in the senses. They are because of the organs and the nerves through which they work. The
So if
functioning
you are
of
able to
these
increase the functionality of the nerves and the organs that are formed by these particles.
That is how psychics, they have that ability.
Exactly.
The functioning of the senses is intimately related to the universe in which man is. That is, the universe which his senses show him, the universe is as it appears.
So you are able to perceive only what what is this? The functioning of the senses is intimately related to the universe in which man is, that is, the universe which his senses show him. The universe as it appears. But there is also one more component which we don't realize, which is our ego, which changes what we see. The body mind lets you see what is safe for you. That becomes the belief system.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it means as we learn, that's how much it keep expanding.
Now that also takes us to Patriji's statement. Ignorance is the root cause of a disease.
Yeah.
Right? My God, where is all this wisdom coming from? Great.
Little of the universe stands out before his senses, and that little the senses report as the whole. So basically, little of the universe.
This is where the limitation is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Only a small part is open to view, to hearing, to taste, and to contact by smell. The greater part is imperceptible and therefore concealed from the senses and not reported by them. So only a very small part we are open to view.
Correct.
There is so much concealed. The senses are deceived by appearances and report things as they are not because they perceive them not as they are but subject to their own limitations.
So now you see, this is where it is being done by your body mind.
Correct.
Yeah.
Man accepts the testimony which comes through the senses because he has no other witnesses to what exists outside of him. He believes his senses. The further result is that he is ignorant of what the senses do not bring in. Right? What lies beyond our senses.
Correct.
This ignorance causes misconception of the universe in which he lives.
So
He does not
just
see.
hold. No, there's a beautiful thing that is coming out as we read this. This is the physical sense, right?
Correct.
What about the sense which is non-physical? I think he's going to lead us into that. That's the way. Because when you read this, right?
Sense.
The question that's coming in my mind is, what is third eye?
That's what, sir. When we get into those inner senses only will expand. Then
Correct.
we'll able to lively see the auras or external
Exactly.
people or aliens or whatever it is.
The sixth sense or intuitions. And
Exactly. All those. Yeah.
Correct. So this ignorance causes misconceptions of the universe in which he lives. He does not see it as it really is, as a huge being made up of 4 states of matter, which are in constant flux, change and transformation inside and outside the shell that he now beholds. So basically, that is the limitations we hold.
Yeah, that is the limitation because of the body, because the shell that we hold is this body.
Correct. Made up of 4 states of matter,
Correct.
which are in constant flux. The perceptions by the senses would not be limited as they are. Vision, for instance, could be focused to see inside the body and to see the very eye itself. Now he's coming to this. See, vision, for instance, could be focused to see inside the body and to see the very eye itself.
I think we missed this para.
The perception of the senses would be different if the finer physical bodies or masses were built up, if the sensors were more sensitive and could be better focused, and if the nervous system were less dull, heavy, and choked up. So that means,
You are laying a cloud. See, the body-mind cloud is clouding everything that you are going to experience, everything that you are going to see, and so on.
Correct. So basically, that nervous system has to be very sensitive.
So basically, your consciousness has to be higher. That is what is trying to lead us to. Yeah.
Yeah, nervous system, easy pointing it to the nodes, sir?
Yes. Nervous systems are the connectivity between all the nodes, no? All the units of the body, see, the nervous system, the blood and all that, they are all, the blood and all that are at the unit level. What is connecting them together?
Yeah, the nodes only, right?
Correct. Yeah. Nadis.
Yeah, nadi, yeah.
Then perception by the senses would not be limited as they are. So when the nervous is well developed, vision, for instance, could be focused to see inside the body and to see the very eye itself. To see not only some of the matter, but to see the flow of all the matter in the 4 states of the physical plane. To see not only some of the matter, but to see the flow of all the matter in the 4 states of the physical plane.
That means you are able to see the flow and arrive at the ultimate. That means if you look at the background that I am showing, you should be able to see it transforming from the 4 elements and the impression into water, earth crust, trees, and so on. And everything in harmony.
Correct.
That is what he's trying to say.
To see any object irrespective of distance and of intervening solid matter. So he
That
says,
becomes the clairvoyance.
yeah, when we develop that sensitivity, we go
Correct.
beyond.
Correct.
Things so small as to be imperceptible through any microscope. These are the siddhis they call anima garima.
Exactly. These are the qualities, these are the limitations, and through your constant focus and training, you can overcome these.
Correct. To see in the absence of the ordinary light. Even in the dark, you should be able to see. To see colors other than those now invisible. So beyond the range, you can see. To see not only surfaces, but to see between and inside and through surfaces.
That is
So
the example I was giving.
Yeah,
See, you are able to perceive the raw material that has become the finished good.
correct. See, that's why in this Inna lady that she wrote the body mechanism of the, how it works. She said when she had back pain, when she was focusing, she could see where her back had, problems.
Correct. You can
with her
perceive
inner,
it. That means you are able to see inside, rectify.
Correct.
That is the art of visualization. That is the creative visualization through which we can apply it to our situation for manifesting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see not only surfaces, but to see between and inside and through surfaces. The eye is now normally focused to see by sunlight and by the other kinds of light, like candle and electric light, in which sunlight is stored. Sunlight is matter in the airy state or dominated by matter in the airy state. When the eye can be focused so as to see by radiant matter, which is also physical, it can see without sunlight and can see between and through the surfaces of solid objects.
Correct.
Such vision is a physical as seeing by sunlight.
Such vision is as physical as seeing.
Such vision is as physical as seeing by sunlight, but it is called astral vision or clairvoyance, though the things seen are physical, because beyond what normal
We are
man
able to
cannot
see
see.
beyond the normal. So this
Yeah.
is explaining now.
So true astral vision or clairvoyance is, can we take out this block? The filter is blocking some of the words.
Okay.
On the
It's removed to one corner, no?
Okay.
I can see
I don't-
clearly.
For me, I don't know why this filter small square is there. Okay. True astral vision.
That is there. That is there, but we can move it to one corner, like I have moved it now.
For me, I'm not able to move. Okay.
No, you can't move.
Because
I can move because that's there in the source.
on my screen.
Okay.
Okay. True astral vision or clairvoyance is the, what is the word here?
Is the
After is
clear seeing of things.
What is that?
Is the clear seeing of things.
Okay.
That means,
That clear is blocked for me.
yeah.
Is the true astral vision
No,
or
I think
clairvoyance?
that is on your screen, ma'am. There is nothing here. Just see,
Yeah,
there is
check your
only-
screen once, Balagaru. I don't see anything.
just wipe your screen once.
It says filter, okay, for me. Okay. The true astral vision or clairvoyance is the clear seeing of things that are on the astral form plane, that is in the radiant or astral state of matter on the form plane of the physical world. So these are all the radiant or astral state of the matter on the form plane. So true, that is the one they are able to see, the true astral vision of clairvoyants are able to see in the radiant and astral state. There are not things of the physical plane. These are not the things of the physical plane.
Means they are
The
part
physical
of the astral plane. Before it has become the physical plane, they are in the
which are in
psychic
the
plane. They are in the psychic plane. Psychic is astral.
correct.
Yeah,
So beyond the physical, as the psychic and the radiant
correct.
plane.
That means they are existing as particles, not as what we see.
So people with clairvoyance, they are able to see these two levels also.
Correct.
These are not things of the physical plane. The physical things are seen, but in another medium, and so they appear different, as the man in the water appears different from the same man on land.
Mm.
If things are seen in the present or in the past by contacting an object, as in psychometry, the vision may be either astrophysical or on the astral form plane of the
Of
physical
the
world.
physical world.
Yeah. Astral form plane of the physical world. The vision is on the astral form plane if things are seen which will happen in the future.
No, no.
So that is how.
Basically, it is moving from mental plane, no, moving from light plane where we conceive something, we give it more in the mental plane in terms of its completeness. Then we bring it to the psychic plane, which is the form plane. That is where they are giving it the shape. And as the density of that shape increases, it manifests in real world.
That is why in the construction of the pyramid, in the meditation, we say it is already in the astral plane.
Exactly.
We need to bring it on
Correct. Correct.
earth. The vision is on the astral form plane if things are seen which will happen in the future. Such things are on the form plane and have not yet come onto the physical plane for exteriorization. Okay. True seeing in the astral state of matter on the form plane is done by the same sense of sight which sees physically through the eye. When it sees on the form plane, it does not necessarily use the organism of the eye.
So that is the third eye. That is the third eye. You are able to perceive it at that level. Yeah.
Instead of the physical eye. It
Correct.
can perceive directly without the use of the organ, as it does in deep sleep, in dreams, or after death, when it beholds the scenes of the life that has passed.
Now you see why they say all dreams are astral travels. Till now, I also did not know. I just took it as an axiom. It is a statement of fact. But now this explains why
without the use of organ, without the use
without
of
the use of
perception.
the organ, you are able to perceive it. So it is. That's what you are doing in a dream, right? That is why
Astral travel.
all dreams are astral travels.
Whether it is in deep sleep or not.
Correct.
Usually, no distinction is made between the clairvoyance, which is astral physical, and that which is on the astral form plane. So, yeah. So here, astral physical, that is the dream world.
Yeah.
Astral form plane. Okay, the term clairvoyance is generally used to cover the seeing of things which are ordinarily not visible to the naked eye in the waking state.
That is why we are calling it. That is why we are calling it clairvoyant.
Correct. Some persons have the gift of clairvoyance from the birth, others acquire it through certain practices, others through diseases, and others are clairvoyant when they are in trance states into which they go or into which they have been put.
See, for example, we have that Vishwaguru Vishwamji.
When the pot fell on his foot.
Right. So he goes to
Yeah.
Tirupati for some function in his family.
No, Satyasai
No,
Ashramam.
he doesn't go for such a sai. He goes to his
Mm,
uncle's place or something.
mm,
Pot falls on his toe,
yeah.
and that triggers his what do you call
Pain.
enlightenment. That pain triggers his enlightenment. Now, this explains
Mm,
that. Some people,
yeah. And also, yeah, the before the surgery when they give the
anesthesia,
chloroform,
yeah, the anesthesia,
yeah,
yeah.
anesthesia, yes. Then they see, hear, taste, and smell things concealed from the average man.
Hmm.
Those who are natural clairvoyants should not practice their gifts for amusement or money. Those
But
who
in
have
the
not
the third eye power should not be misused.
correct.
Yeah.
Those who have not have the gift should not attempt to develop it prematurely.
Hmm.
Until a man knows something definite about the properties of the doer, of the breath form, of the nostril and the other inner bodies, and the end of the four senses, the development of the sense organs, end of the nervous system, so as to let the senses see, hear, taste, smell, and contact that which to the ordinary man is concealed. It will bring confusion and may bring injury.
This is
So
what we
premature.
observed even in that Kundalini Awakening, that book, the serpent
Yes, the
rising.
30 call. Yeah, when he got the power, he was very confused. Yes, he said that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
let's go one more page.
Yeah.
It is fortunate that people have not developed their organs and nerves so as to use their senses astrally, else they would, in their present state, become the prey of irresponsible or inimical beings and would be in a greater trouble than they are in now. So, in case if everybody has this power, they misuse it.
Yeah. They will misuse it, or they will be under the grip of those who want things other than what's happening.
Yes.
See, for example, the study of the stars around you and their energies impacting you is astrology. Now, people, uh, what you call, they get involved in these things to such an extent that they start promoting their laziness. Anyway, I will get it. Yeah.
Correct. When a man rules his feelings and desires, his voluntary, what is, I think I have this
Voluntary nervous
again.
system.
Yeah, his voluntary nervous
Ma'am, I
system
think you
comes
need
on.
to clean your screen because
Yeah,
you are getting it at the same spot of a sentence.
yes, correct. I don't know how. Maybe I need
Maybe you
to.
take it, maybe a wet tissue and clean it once.
No. It is like a small square with the,
No,
it says
something might
filter.
have stuck on that.
It's not on the screen, but it is coming from some place. But I will manage.
Or your
Not
specs.
because.
Check your specs. Maybe there may be a small speck on your spectacles, which is at that.
No. It is it is written as filter in a small square. It is coming, I know, and blocking this same position.
It is coming at the same position. It's something to do with your screen.
Once minimize this, ma'am, and see if it is on your desktop.
Well, if it's coming every time, that is the meaning.
Okay, when a man rules his feelings and desires, his voluntary nervous system comes under his control and changes go on in his fourfold physical body.
Correct.
Okay, when man rules his feelings and desires, his voluntary nervous system comes under his control and changes go on in his fourfold physical body. Among these changes
Now, here, just extend this sentence to a psychosomatic disease. Reread this sentence. When a
When a
man
man,
rules his feelings and desires,
that
It can
body
go
mind.
both
voluntary
ways. It can
nervous
go both
system
ways.
comes under his control and
Yeah.
changes go on in his fourfold physical body. Apply this sentence to a disease or your pathway to come out of it.
That is like with awareness, his voluntary nervous system is under
No, no.
control means.
That means
Mm,
he, with awareness, but if he is able to control his feelings and desires,
yeah,
They're
correct.
both negative and positive way.
yeah,
Whatever way you
exactly.
go, it will take
So
you that
when
way.
it is on the negative frame, it is going to manifest as a disease, as a difficulty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Among these changes are that the nerves of these sense organs are cleansed, strengthened, and keyed up to the impressions of finer and finer matter.
Hmm.
So as long as he is controlling his feelings and desires.
Correct.
These nerves belong to the involuntary nervous system.
Hmm.
This system becomes less dull. That is the involuntary nervous system. It becomes less dull, heavy, and choked up as the voluntary nervous system comes under the control. As the
What
nerves
you
in
are
the sense
doing
organ,
is the involuntary nervous system, you are influencing it.
yes.
Hmm.
As the nerves in the sense organs becomes keyed up to matter that is finer than, let's go down, finer than the matter ordinarily perceived, the senses perceive matter within the matter which they have so far perceived and which was their limitation.
Hmm.
As the nerves organs become keyed up to the matter that is finer than the matter ordinarily perceived, the senses perceive matter within the matter which they have so far perceived, which was their limitation. Got it? Because
They are able to
they,
recognize what was the missing components.
yes, they go beyond which was not able to see before. Also, they will be able to see.
Correct.
The gross matter is then no obstruction. So they go beyond the gross matter and
Exactly.
are able to see within. On the physical plane, things unsuspected will come within the ken of man as he perceives new dimensions of physical matter and is no longer limited by the honest or surface matter spoken of as length, breadth, and thickness.
Hmm.
So the dimensions are not
The
limited.
dimensions is immaterial, yeah.
Yes. That one may then see solid objects and within the solid matter, finer matter that is circulating through it. He can watch the sap flowing through the plants, the digestion of food and the circulation of his own body and in other bodies, the currents of the breath going through the body and its physical atmosphere, the currents in the air and in the water. Oh my God. So this is all crystal clear
No,
for
you
them.
are able to see it to the depth.
Yeah. Distance will not distance will not interfere with the sight. He may see through the crust of the earth into the interior. Then the shape of the earth crust will not be that of a globe or of a plane. He will see the sun and moon through the earth crust as he now sees them above it. My God. He will see the planes working through the earth as he now sees them cycling around the sun. Oh, he will see the planets, sorry. He will see the planets working through the earth as he now sees them cycling around the sun. He will see the stars not as millions of miles away and of fantasizing the and of fantastic size, but as they are and connected with the nerves of human bodies. Oh my God, this is amazing.
So he
He will
have
see the
seen all
stars
this.
not away.
Wow.
So is it like when the
fantastic
third
size
opens?
as they are connected with the nerves of
Wait,
the
ma'am.
body.
Ratna ma'am is saying something. Yeah, Ratna ma'am.
Is it all like when the third eye opens? Is that what it meant when the nervous, I mean, feelings or desires are controlled?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, okay. Just want to.
yes.
Yeah.
Then he will hear what he sees in plants and in human and animal bodies, the circulation of sap and blood and nervous fluid.
Hmm.
He will hear the matter flowing through, all these also.
So when you
And
are clairvoyant, you are clairsentient, you are clair audience, and all that will come into picture. All of them is culminating. There are
amazing.
people who just hear things that are happening elsewhere. So that is their olfactory canal, which is that wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will hear the sound made by the earth and other celestial bodies as they move in their courses. So beyond the earth, celestial bodies also, whatever they sound them, yeah. He will so see and hear by focusing his sight and hearing on the objects and their movements. So wherever he focuses, he can see and hear. Sight and hearing
That is
work.
what I was about to ask. With so much noise, how can he be at peace? So that is what it is. Wherever he is focusing, then only.
That is why he withdrew into writing the book for 32 years.
So he will so see and hear by focusing his sight and hearing on the objects and their movements. Sight and hearing work together. So do taste and smell. Without physical contact, he will sense the properties of anything as being palatable, poisonous, fragrant, friendly, or inimical. All this can be done by the four senses acting as reporters on the physical plane. No exercise of psychic power should be required. Oh my God, I mean. The senses can be used as instruments and agents for the exercise of psychic powers in the control of physical matter. One could act upon radiant matter through his sense of sight and so cause lightning, or might set fire to anything or break up solid objects by dispersing the causal elementals in them.
So this is the scientific explanation to how some of these enlightened masters, they stop rain,
Right.
stop storm, they control the environment, etc. Right?
Correct.
Like we hear of Sai Baba, when it is raining too heavily, he says, "Stop now."
Correct.
Yeah.
And also, they cause the lightning or might set fire to anything or break up solid objects. Yeah.
So
With
they
the
are
air
controlling
element,
all the elementals.
correct. With the air elemental, that is his hearing, he may, if the organ and nerves are attuned, create sounds in the world outside and can shake and vibrate things to destruction by disorganizing their portal elementals so that they break up the cohesive power of the form elementals that holds the particles together.
Wait on, ma'am. See, in some of Bruce Lee's movies, without touch also he is able to demolish.
The stone break into two.
Right.
Yeah.
Then in Bodhidharma, the movie, they show off moving his leg so that he is able to pick up and convert all the grass and dried leaves into an instrument. So these are all, this is the phenomena behind them.
Because they have the power to control
They have the power
elements.
to create that.
Control
Yes,
the elements.
exactly.
He may contact the sun or the moon as he may now touch a boulder. Oh my God. While man is unable to govern his appetites and restrain his feelings and desires, and he has not his voluntary nervous system under his control, it is well that he has not organs and nerves that would enable him to let his senses deal with the finer matter on the physical plane as each organ so developed would be like a road left open for forces to sweep through and wreck his body.
Yes.
So we are not under voluntary system control.
So that means that you need to constantly practice, he's saying, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
See,
Not to leave it
unless
alone.
you practice, right?
Feelings and desire, if he doesn't restrain his feelings and desire and go under it, no matter if he gains all this, still he'll be like swept into the
Right.
forces. The
Even if
forces
his,
will act on
no,
him.
again, if his body mind is influencing it, he will not be able to experience it.
Yeah. But that's going to damage. That's what it says.
Yes. See, that is why when I mentioned, right, when someone asked me, sir, there is so and so course on third eye opening, can I send my son to it? I said, please don't. Because all this has to be a natural process, not an unnatural process. Because if the other faculties are not ready, it is like the butterfly in the cocoon. When it is a caterpillar, you open the cocoon. Will it become a butterfly?
Yeah. That's why Patriji emphasizes only on Anapanasati.
Correct.
Because that will lead you to whatever you are ready for.
Exactly. I think next is they're going to say pranayama. Next page.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. Have you heard the cymatic pattern, sir? Like, because you mentioned about the Bruce Lee, how like he used the sound power to break it. So the cymatic powers are like, how sound, sound can influence the matter and then change, create
Yeah,
patterns.
you can see. See, clairvoyant is a combination of all those capabilities. Otherwise, it is clairsentience, clairaudience, all those, not voyance.
Yeah. So
People
actually,
sit and smell. Some people sit in meditation, they are able to smell fragrance.
yes.
Right. That is another form of this, what do you call, this, their ability to sense those elementals in the environment.
Yeah. Fine tuning those organs.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So
the pranayama,
shall we do it?
by one.
We still have half an hour. We should be able to do it.
Yeah. Psychic results may be obtained by breathing exercises known as pranayama or inhalation, retention, and exhalation of the breath to acquire occult powers. But one who advises another to practice these usually cannot foretell how such exercises will affect the nervous system and the doer of the one who practices them.
Correct.
The pupil
So you practice it, but let the body decide when. Don't practice it with these kind of intentions.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pupil knows less than his teacher. So these are all but both will suffer certain psychic and physical consequences of such practices. The teacher will suffer some psychic injury and will be held to account for the injury done to his follower.
This is the reason why they say don't, do this energy-based healing and all those parameters. Because you are playing with psychic powers where you don't know how it will affect the other guy.
Those who practice such exercises have particularly a mental destiny. The involuntary movements of the physical body, such as respiration, circulation, and digestion, are operated by the breath form. They are due to impressions made continually by the four elementals of nature through the four senses, which communicate these impulses to the breath form. The volitional impulses come from the doer. They too must act on the breath form before physical organs can move. Nature acts on the breath form and thereby on the physical body through the involuntary nervous system, and the doer acts through the voluntary system.
Hmm.
Man may, by his consent, subordinate that which is called his will, which is really desire, to control by nature, and he may to some degree subordinate the involuntary functions of the body to his will, as is done by those who can stop respiration, circulation, and digestion temporarily. Practice of certain exercises by the ignorant is intended to gain such mastery and to give them occult powers. The
Hmm.
practices are concerned with breathing, sitting in postures, repeating words and phrases, and the starting and stopping of currents in the body. Centers for breathing are located in physical organs, principally in the throat, lungs, and heart and sex organs.
These,
The doer in the body,
these are the vortexes. Chakras.
vortexes.
These are the vortexes, what we call chakras.
Yes.
Hmm.
The doer in the body is in the kidneys and adrenals. The field of operation of feeling is in the involuntary nervous system, and that of desire in the blood. In the blood,
Hmm.
through the breath, the thinker may contact the heart and lungs, and the knower may contact the pituitary body and the pineal body.
Hmm.
Except for the portion of the doer in the kidneys and adrenals, all parts of the triune self are outside the body in their respective atmospheres. There are circulations in these atmospheres. They are kept up by three inner breaths, the psychic, mental, and noetic breaths.
Hmm. Which run?
They are kept, which run usually through the physical breath and can continue when the body appears to be dead, as in trance states. So he is saying they are kept up by three inner breaths, psychic, mental, and noetic breath, which run usually through the physical breath, and they can continue when the body appears to be dead, as in trance states. Breath is not breathing.
I did not understand this part, sir.
No, one sec. What you didn't understand? Let's reread this, ma'am. I will take you to the diagram that I was drawing. Through the
Through the breath, the thinker may contact the heart and lungs, and the knower may contact the pituitary body and the pineal body.
see, first,
Except
let me just explain this.
Hmm.
You have got the knower, thinker, and the doer,
Yes.
and you have got the doer in the physical body.
Yeah.
Right? Now, knower and thinker will not come in contact with the physical body,
Yeah.
but they will come through the doer in the triune self with that of the doer in the physical body.
Hmm.
Where are they coming in contact? At the heart level and at the pituitary gland level.
Hmm.
Correct? So, through the breath, the thinker may contact the heart and lungs. Thinker will contact the heart and lungs because rightness and reason.
Hmm.
Right? And the knower. Knower is what? He is the identity and knowledge.
selfness or knowledge.
So that will contact the pituitary gland, which is located in the cranial cavity.
Hmm.
Okay. Except for the portion of the doer in the kidneys and adrenals. Who is the doer?
Hmm.
Doer in the body is in the kidneys and adrenals, right?
Okay. Hmm.
Muladhara. Right?
Hmm.
All parts of the triune self are outside the body in their respective atmospheres.
Yeah.
So who are the all parts? The triune self, all parts are knower, thinker, and doer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the next. Right? They are in their respective atmospheres. Go to the light body. In the 12 dimensions, this is one of the middle layer. You have got the top layer where the triune self is complete.
Yes.
You have got the middle layer of creativity, the lower end of creativity.
Hmm.
So where is this? in their respective atmospheres.
Yeah.
There are circulations in these atmospheres, axiotonal lines, which is from the
Okay.
fifth dimension to the physical dimension,
Mm.
right? That is the minor chakras on the hands and all that, and also in the
Mhm.
correct,
Mm.
right? There are circulations in these atmospheres. They are
Okay.
picked up by 3 inner breaths. What are these?
Yeah,
3
this is
inner breaths?
where I got lost.
Okay. 3 inner breaths, the psychic breath, the mental breath,
Ah,
the noetic breath. Where are they? They are in the
yeah.
astral body, they are in the mental body, they are in the causal body.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And they are also in the light breath. That is the noetic plane.
Mm.
See, our breath is equal to noetic breath plus mental breath plus psychic breath plus our physical breath. Our
Yeah.
physical breath is what I have represented in this diagram. Which one? In this diagram, right? What is your physical breath? This is your Akashic records, correct? The breath from there, which is the noetic, mental, and psychic. And this is your physical breath. Okay? Are you able to relate?
Mm. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, they are being sucked in through these, which is the connectivity between the planes and
Okay.
planes.
Okay. Okay.
These are
Mhm.
then going through that voluntary process of atom
Mm.
to molecule to chemical to cell to uh, organ to system to physical body.
Mm.
That cycle.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
Now, in that process, each one is creating their corresponding organs,
Yeah. Correct.
which
Mm.
together as an anatomy is the physical anatomy. Got it?
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
He has taken us through all that. Correct?
Mm.
And he is also saying breath is not breathing. Beautifully, he has built the whole thing, right? So now what is he saying? They are kept by 3 breaths, right?
Mm.
Which run usually through the physical breath and can
Mm.
continue when the body appears to be dead, as in trance state. That means
Yeah.
when you are in sleep.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Mm. Yeah.
So see the whole thing. I mean, it's a beautiful picture that is forming in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breath
Yeah.
is
Thank you,
not
Breathe,
sir.
breathing.
yeah, breath is not breathing. That is merely the movement of the air through lung action.
Yeah.
The physical breath is the movement of the physical atmosphere into and out of the body. It moves in paths of lemniscate's figure of 8. That means it goes through like
No, no,
figure
no.
8.
Here, visualize the movement. Where is that? Yeah.
Sir, I have a
Visualize the
doubt.
movement through the esoteric anatomy diagram, the flow of energy. Why? Come on.
He's telling about some figure number 8 or the number 8 breathing.
No, in the
Not the
form of
figure 8,
8.
the way,
8.
see, there is an inflow, right?
Yeah.
And then there is an outflow, there is a switching. He is talking about this.
Okay.
This is that figure of 8 that it is going through. Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna.
But I
Yeah.
thought Kundalini energy goes like that.
Because the
And
flow
that's what I was not
creates
understanding.
current.
Normal breathing is not 8 number. So he's
No,
comparing
this
with
becomes
this.
8, no? See, look at this. So,
Now with this image, we can understand.
this is the figure of 8, whichever way the energy flows. Got it? My God, what has he visualized, sir?
So the polarity of the serpentine brain current is reversed in the
Exactly.
other cell
So
field.
in one direction it is positive, in the other direction it is a reverse. So it goes in this way, positive and negative, positive and negative.
Infinity kind.
Correct. Infinity kind, which is 8, right?
So I like people say like walking
Learn
through 8.
escapes. Yeah.
Yeah, walking through 8 can increase the enhance the energies.
That
How
is
do you
why
walk?
there is an alternating this one that takes place between left nostril and right nostril. You have got heat in one, you have got cold in other. My God, he has now
The physics
in Ayurveda also into this. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the combination of the elementals into these 3 states. Yeah,
Sir, I have a question here.
yeah.
See, the difference between the physical breath and the one in the Nightic and other planes, it's kind of causing confusion. So
No,
can we use the word breath energy instead of the breath?
Okay, breath has got 2 definitions, if you can say. One is breath as a noun, and the other one is breath as a verb.
That is breathing.
That is breathing. So breath is not breathing. That is why he is saying the composition of breath is equal to sigma atmospheres, the contents of the atmospheres. The process of breathing is pulling in and pushing out.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
here
So
he
is there a
says
Telugu or Sanskrit equivalent of between the breath as noun and breath as verb?
That will be prana.
Okay.
Life energy is breath. Chi.
Life energy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Correct.
Okay.
You are right.
So that becomes breath, and this is breathing. The activity is breathing.
Yeah. Okay. Now it is clear. Yes.
Yeah.
okay, the physical breath is movement
That
of
is
the
why he
physical
is using
atmosphere.
the word, the activity is the physical breath.
Correct.
Yeah.
And breath is movement of the physical atmosphere into and out of the body. It moves in paths of Lemniscate's figure of 8. The paths are not noticed. Only the air passing through the lungs and nostrils is noticed. The physical breath is the effect of the action of the 3 inner breaths flowing through the physical body. So, the action of the 3 inner breaths.
Correct.
These matters are too far removed from the subject for detailed treatment and are mentioned only to show the connection of the breaths of the triune self with physical breathing. So we only notice the only physical breath, but according to him, there are inner breaths.
Correct. So now he is explaining the psychic breath.
Yeah. These matters are too far removed from the subject for detailed treatment and are mentioned only to show the connections of the breaths of the triune self with the physical breathing. The psychic breath, which is the lowest of the 3 inner breaths, has many phases. In one of these, it is a revolution. In another, it acts like the swing of a pendulum. In another, it is like the movement of the walking beam, which turns the paddle wheels of a steamboat. Oh God. Oh, so 3 ways.
No, these, ma'am, the psychic breath is referring to is your prana, apana, udana, samana, vyaya, and the sub breaths.
Okay.
That dharana, all those are part of this breath. No, all of that is part of the 10 states of pranayama.
Correct.
The 8-fold steps that he talks about. Yeah.
One cycle or swing of the psychic breath breath may comprise several cycles of the physical breath. The lesser cycles of the physical breath are related to their dominating psychic breath cycle. So number of physical breaths are low and it dominates the psychic breath. There is one center of the psychic breath in the kidneys and adrenals and another in the psychic atmosphere.
Psychic atmosphere, the feeling part.
The psychic breath can be made to coincide with the cycle of the physical breath, and so the physical breath can be made to affect the psychic breath and by that affect thinking. So that thinking, feeling and thinking. So from the psychic breath can be made to coincide with the cycle of the physical breath, and so the physical breath can be made to affect the psychic breath, and by that affects the thinking. From these few statements, it will be seen that there must be a science of the breath. It will be plain that any interference with normal breathing is dangerous because it affects the physical breath and through that the psychic breath. If they are thrown out of phase, it is likely that digestive, kidney, heart, skin, and nervous disorders will follow. Connected with the practices for the suppression of the breath is that of sitting in postures to start certain at present currents which run through the fourfold physical body
Inactive
along
currents. Inactive currents.
inactive connected with the practices. Where is this?
No, this one. Not the
inactive, correct.
Yeah,
correct. Sitting postures to start certain at present inactive currents, correct, which runs through the fourfold physical body along the nerves. One of the main hopes of such practitioners is to open channels in their bodies to allow a certain universal force, in Sanskrit Kundalini, to flow through them, thereby giving to the practitioner occult power. If that force did really pass through them prematurely, it would burn out their nerves. The experiments, while not likely to produce this extreme result because they are more or less desultory, generally undermine physical health, loosen the finer bodies in the flesh body, and disorders the morals. Tales told about unusual phenomena produced by Negroes, dancing dervishes, medicine and miracle men of various tribes, conjurers, fakirs, ascetics, and holy men, either alone in company during religious organizations of an ecstatic
not organized.
orgies. Orgies. What is orgies?
Orgies is a sort of you can say that it's a sort of a ritual.
Ritual, okay. Religious orgies, yeah. I thought some kind of organized, yeah. Religious orgies of an ecstatic assembly or among a band wallowing in debauch or some.
So that means basically they are all the unethical practices that we understand, or the what do you call the immoral. Debauchery is also immoral.
Okay.
Amachari.
Sir, this means that even the pranayams also we should do under guidance.
Yes.
Normal, any breathing interferences we should do under guidance.
See, you need to understand what is pranayama all about. You should understand that the theory behind it, if it is not sitting as information with you, it will have a negative impact. That means you are not yet ready. Correct.
I think a regular pranayama we do as part of the yoga exercise is okay, but
no, I wouldn't say it is okay. It cannot be done
means
on
like
your
we're not
own. As long as you are learning it,
right?
Ratna, as long as you are guided and initiated into it.
No, but that is through like the eightfold dharana and all that. That requires a guidance.
No, but what if you don't understand and you are doing? That is why Patriji says only Anapanasati. He doesn't talk about pranayama, mudras and all that.
Okay. So you're saying
So,
even a regular,
if you don't
let's say,
understand and do it, like for
Okay.
example, Chandra ma'am guided us into what is that mudra that we should hold.
yeah,
Now, in the absence of that, we put our fingers in a particular way. We sometimes find that they are stuck, right? So,
yeah,
you should use it in your normal manner. If you are using it, what do you call, voluntarily in a particular manner, you need to know what is the theory behind it. Without understanding, if you do, you will end up creating a problem for yourself.
See, like holding a kumbhakam and rechakam for too long, and that
Correct.
is dangerous, he's saying.
Why there are so many people who sit on the floor for 1 hour, they are okay. They sit for 3 hours and say, I'm not able to get up because my entire body is numb. You've seen that, right? That is a posture of yoga. But if their body is not able to take it, and they have not trained the circulation of the body to function normally under that circumstance, they complain of being numb. We experience it ourselves, right?
he's sitting in Padmasana state for
With
a
the
period.
Padmasana or whichever it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that English people today call it ergonomics, and then they say you sit for 1 hour, you get up for 5 minutes, then again you sit, and all those things have come into picture. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue, man.
Okay. Yeah.
We will stop where we will stop at this point because time will be over by then. Yeah.
If that force did really pass through them prematurely, it would burn out their nerves. The experiments, while not likely to produce this extreme result because they are more or less desultory, generally undermine physical health, loosen the finer bodies in the flesh body, and disorder the morals. Tales told about unusual phenomena produced by this is all done. We finished this. Deception practiced by the wonder workers themselves, credulity of the observers, or
I think
exaggeration by the
we will start at this for the next session, that is tomorrow.
Okay. Do not overcome the fact that some people possess extraordinary psychic powers. Deception practiced by the workers. Okay.
So that is that
So we'll stop.
Vamachara and Dakshachara and all those things. Yeah. So we can have a few minutes of gossip if you want.
are we having this